Hey guys, welcome to Talking About Stuff. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. I'm your host, Robert, and my co-host as usual, Lizette and Ralph.
Favorite co-host, what's up?
If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. In today's episode, we're actually going to be doing what a lot of you guys have been requesting, and it is
edibles.
Yep, it's our edible video. So don't go anywhere because we're going to get right into it. Alright guys, so we're back. We're going to go ahead and start with this edible video. Now, with that being said, we actually have some Riverside Farm edibles. The bag is 200 milligrams. There's 10 pieces in them, which means each piece is about 20 a piece. 20 milligrams.
Great flavor.
Great flavor.
Nasty abomination.
Doesn't even taste like grape, it's like tastes like purple.
Tastes like purple. That's funny.
You guys know what I'm talking about too.
Yeah, for real.
Nothing grape flavor tastes
So
like
initially, right out the bag, it smells like weed. It smells like something.
Pass it.
So with edibles, if it is your first time eating edibles, or it's your first time taking any kind of THC consumptions, I just want to tell those out there, you have more control of what you're consuming, so that it makes it a little bit easier for the person to control their high. The problem with edibles that people have is they eat the edibles and they take way too much. And what ends up happening, they end up having like a really bad experience because they start to panic, they took too much. It was the first time, they didn't know what we were doing. So I will say with edibles, be very cautious with how much you are taking. We're not doctors by any means, so we can't necessarily recommend anything to you guys, but we will say be careful and just start small.
Yeah, pretty much. I've known a lot of people that are like, yeah, I don't like to smoke. I tried edibles. It made me feel really shitty. And for the most part, they just didn't do it right the first time. You know, it takes a minute to kick in, and then it hits you a lot harder than as if you were smoking or whatever. Like, it's a complex deal. I would say.
Not just that, but like when you say you're a daily smoker, for a long time I said I didn't like edibles because they didn't hit me, but because I was a daily smoker, wasn't taking enough to feel the edible, I guess you could say. So it just depends on your system, you know, how much high of a tolerance you have for weed.
So with edibles, this is kind of how I break it down, so I'm hoping it can help you guys out. Basically, when you eat an edible, it's not going into your respiratory system because you're not smoking it. It's going through your digestive system, which means it gets broken down in your liver, just like if you were to drink alcohol. It's not going to hit you until it reaches your liver. Now, with that being said, this entire process of getting high with edibles, it's going to take you anywhere from about 6 to 8 hours. When you do that, you're going to eat it, and when you eat it, I like to go ahead and check the time to see what time you started at, because you will not start to feel the effects of the edibles, no matter how much is in them, for about 2 hours. The other issue that people have with edibles is they eat it, and within the first half hour, they're like, I don't feel anything. And then they eat like another one, and then another one, and then
out of nowhere, they're just insanely high, it just smacks them all at once.
Yeah, because they didn't wait the appropriate time. So if you are going to eat it, make sure you check the time, see what time it is before you eat it, know how much you are eating, and then when you do eat it, just remember it's going to take about 2 hours to kick in. After those 2 hours, you'll start to feel something. You'll start to feel a little bit of a head change, maybe a body change. You'll start to feel a lot more relaxed. And from there, the next 2 hours is what I like to call your peak hours. So your peak hours is probably the highest high you're going to get with the edibles. So the first 2 hours is up, the first 2 hours after that is high, and then the next 2 hours coming down, 2 to 4 hours depending on your system. It's basically your come down, where it's going to be the easiest, like most relaxing part of the edibles. But once again, because it's so concentrated and processed through the liver, you have to remember that depending how much you took, it can make you feel really sluggish and almost worn out because your body's never experienced something like that. So please, those of you out there, if you are trying edibles for the first time, start small and please be careful. Today's episode, we are going to be eating edibles, and we're actually eating a lot of them. So do not try this at home if you don't know what you're doing.
Also, to revive an old topic that we talked about on the channel, weed hangovers are a thing. And yes, edibles are the number one thing that get me a fucking weed hangover like no other. Like I always wake up the next day sluggish, no energy,
Groggy.
headache, groggy, whatever. And that's just because the edibles fucking suck.
All right, so like I said before, the entire package is 200 milligrams with 10 pieces inside, which means each piece is about 20 milligrams in the package that we have today. There is no CBD in this. This is just THC, which is just going to give us a head change, but not necessarily giving us any of the medical benefits that you would get if you did consume an edible that had CBD, such as, you know, antidepressants or something that's going to help your system out, you know, if you have like insomnia or things like that. There's a lot of different strains help with different things. So just do your research, see what you're consuming, and then if you do need to, go ahead and talk to your doctor and then see what would be the best for you. But for us today, we're going to be eating 3 apiece, 60 milligrams. And from here, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. It's going to be a break for us, but not a break for you guys. We'll be back in 2 hours and we'll get into a Toke time.
We'll let you know how it is.
So,
how it goes.
cheers, you guys. We're going to eat it.
Very earthy.
Tastes like weed.
Kind of fruity.
Yep. I could taste the purple flavor, not grape flavor. It tastes more like weed, to be honest. But at the same time, like I said, we'll be back. So give us a second, and we'll see you guys in a minute.
Real
Yeah.
quick.
Hey guys, and we're back. So just so you know, it has been 2 hours. The edibles are kicking in; they're in full effect. I think I can speak for all of us that they're in full effect. But yeah, what were you saying, Rafi, before we went to commercial break?
Pretty much, I was just gonna say, don't eat your flour if you're thinking like that, something like that will work. Obviously, it won't work. Eating flour raw it won't
Sorry.
work because
Sorry, I'm grinding. It won't work like.
you need heat to reactivate the THC to get you high. So if you eat flour, it's just a waste. It's not gonna get you high.
But yeah, so with that being said, in our Toke Time episode, we're gonna go ahead and tell you guys what's the highest high we've ever gotten off of edibles. We got the bomb. We're gonna have that going in rotation. There we go. You want to start, Ralph?
My story.
Yeah, what's your
Highest high you've ever been on edibles?
So I have like the highest high, and then I have the fastest high. That really fucked me up.
What's the highest high you've ever had off of edibles?
Highest high. So I went to Vegas sometime before COVID, like November, and we picked up some edibles. So we went at no.
Guy, we're
I'm
recording.
just no. Okay.
Well done.
So I'm chilling. It's just a regular weekend for me. It's on Saturday. Okay. I'm at home and I have these edibles, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna go get some food, whatever. And so I don't remember. They're hard candies. I remember that. Anyways, took these. I want to say it was about 20 milligrams, but it was back when I wasn't really smoking that much. And so I was like, fuck it, went, bam, got some food, came back. By the time I sat down to eat and watch a movie, I was fucking gone. Like, I was like, fuck. Like, I just remember, like, being totally fine, sat down, opened my tray of Mexican food, and fucking, I was like,
So how quick did it hit?
anyways, it was pretty quick. I want to say it was in a time span of 20 minutes.
And it was an edible?
And it was 2 edibles. I did.
2 edibles.
I don't remember how much it was.
What were they? What were they?
No, there's hard candy, I told you.
Oh, hard candy, okay.
And yeah, so I was fucking, it was really early in the day, I want to say like 2 o'clock. And I was just chilling, and Anyways, it's about 2:00 and I'm starting to feel like when I get really high like that, I don't like being high anymore. I'm like, I don't like this. I was like, I just want to.
You just want to turn it
I
off.
just want to turn it off. Sleep doesn't work all the time because then that's how you get fucking weed hangovers.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. So yeah, I was really gone, and it was really fast. Those are some really good edibles. I want to go get some more.
So, my highest high I think on edibles was when we were all in California at the time. I think it was a couple years ago, and we were in Palm Springs, and I went to the dispensary out there and got this 1,000 milligram brownie.
Damn, you're fucking wild.
And I don't know, I went one time like after that, and they said that they didn't make them anymore for some reason. We had this 1,000 milligram brownie, and I didn't even eat like the whole thing. I had maybe a quarter of it, so maybe 250 milligrams. What am I doing? And I had it, and I'm still sitting there in rotation. We have blunts going, you know, like we're smoking a lot. Like they smoke fat in California.
I can actually vouch for that too, though. That brownie actually smacked for me too back in the day when I was like barely started.
So you had a piece of the same.
I had a piece of that
1,000
same
milligram
brownie, and that brownie fucked me up too. For the whole day. I had a weed hangover like no other. I couldn't function. My neck hurt. My head hurt. I wanted to sleep. It just wasn't.
So yeah, like we're sitting there in rotation. We got blunts going, and it's hours. We're smoking for hours, and then I ended up just falling asleep in the couch in the living room. Not in the couch, on the couch in the living room. And I don't know. I want to say it was like maybe 1 in the morning. And for some reason, everybody wakes up super early and goes and smokes in the garage. They just sit in half session. So like 5, 6 o'clock, everyone's going out to the garage, and I hear them, and I wake up like, you want to go to session? I was like, all right, bet. So I went out there, and the blunt's going. I'm sitting there, maybe 2 passes go by, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I can't do this. I go back, and I fall back to sleep on the couch, and I don't know, I'm asleep all day, and then I wake up like afternoon, weed hangover. I don't know. I don't remember what happened after that.
The brownies.
It was bomb though. It didn't really taste like it.
Yeah,
Weed.
it didn't taste like it, but it was pretty good. I fucked with it.
So the highest high I've ever had on edibles was actually the first time I ever had edibles. And I didn't do my research. I didn't ask anybody. I just was in Vegas at the time. I was with my girlfriend. And basically, we hit the dispensary, and I was like, let me get a pack of edibles, because it was probably the easiest way to consume it for me at the time. And it was 100 milligrams package that I got, and when I ate it, I ended up eating 2, so it was like 20 milligrams. Remember, I wasn't smoking at the time, not very much. I was only like a weekend smoker occasionally, and I never had edibles before. So the first time I had edibles was probably over 20 milligrams, and at first I was fine. I was litty, having a good time in Vegas. My girlfriend ends up getting tired, so she ends up going up to the room. I ended up staying at till probably 1, 2 in the morning, still gambling, still having a good time. But I didn't realize how slowly it started to creep in. And all of a sudden, I ended up from what I remember, basically I started blacking out. It got to the point where I would walk through the casino and I'd black out, and then I'd wait, I'd come back to remembering, and I was somewhere else. And I told myself, I was like, man, it was 1 in the morning, and I'm fucking hungry. So my girlfriend told me, if you're gonna stay up by yourself and high in Vegas, do not leave the casino, because then at least, I'm findable. I was like, okay, high as fuck. I don't remember anything from before. Remember, I'm blacking, I'm in and out. I end up going to the food court, and I get to the food court. At this time, it's probably around 2, 3 in the morning. And the food court is fucking closed. I was so pissed, because I was all I wanted was Castle, like a half block up, and it's open 24/7. So me being high as fuck, hungry, you know what I mean? I'm like blacking in and out. I'm not really thinking. I shouldn't have been by myself for sure, but I'm like, I have to bust the mission and go across the street to go get food. So I decided to do it, and everything was fine. I was like,
It's
cool.
It's just across the street. What could go wrong?
Yeah, it's just across the street. What could go wrong? I'm walking right through the lobby, through the casino, everything right. I end up getting to the street light, and remember, I'm still like blacking out in and out. Like I'm blacking out and I'm waking up somewhere else. I end up going across the street, and then I'm like, all right, all I have to do is turn left, and it's a half block up, and that's where White Castle is. Cool. I start walking up the block, and I'm walking up the block, and I'm walking. And I realize I'm walking for a really long time. I think it's the edibles until I start looking around, and I don't recognize where I'm at. So I ask a guy, like just a normal guy walking up the street. He's like, I was like, hey man, can I ask you a favor? Do you know where White Castle is? He goes, yeah man, it's about a mile that way. It was at that moment I knew I fucked up, because I realized when I crossed the street, high as fuck on edibles, I was supposed to turn left, go a half block, and there's White Castle. I ended up turning right, and I just enjoyed my journey. So now I ended up walking back in the proper, like right direction, right? On the strip, like 3-4 in the morning. There's hookers like around me who don't leave me alone. I'm like, I just want food. No, don't talk to me. I'm walking. I shouldn't have been by myself, like I said. I'm still like blacking out in and out. But eventually, I made it to White Castle. I had the greatest meal I've ever had, probably high as fuck. I easily spent $30 at White Castle. And anyone knows, if you spent $30 at White Castle, you ordered way too much food. I didn't finish it all. They're burgers like this big.
Yeah, little sliders.
Yeah. And they're
Yeah, like a heroin Kumar.
yeah. And they're like 80 cents. I bought like 30 of them. Yeah, it was way too much. I didn't eat it all. I ended up throwing it away. Here's the thing that fucked me up. On the way back, I ended up Snapchatting this like this person was playing Bohemian Rhapsody on the piano. I thought it was cool as fuck, so I had to put it on my story. That's the thing that got me caught up. That's the thing that got me caught. I would have got away with that. I wouldn't have got in trouble. Until I put the story, and it was my own fucking fault, because I didn't even make it into the lobby, like filming it, crossing the street, and then making it into the lobby. I got a text, where the fuck are you? Damn, I knew I was in trouble, because I wasn't supposed to leave the casino. And that was the first time I got high on edibles, the highest high I've ever had.
You took my last adventure trying to get some food.
Yup. And you know what's crazy? Like when I was walking up back to like my room, it was the longest journey. It was the longest part. I was peaking at the highest I've ever peaked, because I'm walking and all of a sudden like the hallway just went like really far. I was like, damn. I don't remember it being this far. But fuck it, we're going. So I'm walking and I'm walking and I'm walking, and I feel like I'm walking forever. Just to stop and turn around, because I had just gotten out of the elevator, right? Just to stop and turn around, I moved all of like 10 feet from the elevator when I thought I was walking for like a half hour, and I'm like, it's gonna take me forever to get back to my room. I make it back to my room, and I try to go into the restroom because I had to take a piss. So what ended up happening? I tried finding the light, and it was inside the wall to turn on the light, but I was so high I looked into like the darkness of the bathroom, and I'm like, man, that looks like a hole. I don't want to slip in there. So I'm like trying to search for the light. I end up like almost falling into the hole. Remember, in my mind, so I thought, but it wasn't a hole. Found the light, went to the restroom, went to bed, and that was the first time I got high. That was the first time I got in trouble in the morning for the who are thinking. But yeah, wondering what you. Alright guys, if you did like that video, go ahead and give us a big thumbs up. As you could tell, we are pretty lit off these edibles. And a little bit of weed that we did smoke. But if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe and notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. We are open to new topics. In the comments, let us know. What do you guys want to see?
But yeah, guys, it's... But alright, guys, until then, stay token.